friends are having a great time. It's not face to face, it's all online. We're all in our homes, miles away. Love them like my family, what can I say? My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you're never alone. Don't call or text me, it's about to begin. I've been patient, time for me to chime in. Comfy clothes on, feeling just fine. I'm busy right now, it's crafting show time. My crafting show is on, it's my time for me. Laughter, tips and tricks, this is what I need. We're here to have fun, we're all in the zone. When crafting with friends, you'll never. Let's have a good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Hey gifted crafters, welcome back for another Saturday CrafterNoon where we craft with friends. And I love all of you guys for being here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is live number 137, if you can believe it. But if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and I host these weekly live sessions to just talk about all things crafty. And we just have a great time, and we share tips, tricks, and ideas. So feel free to jump into the chat and say hello to our friends. We've got our nice little crafting crew out there, and they will welcome you in. So thanks for tuning in. So guys, it's an exciting day. I've got a number of things to show you and some big announcements to make. So I'm super excited. But before we get to all of that, let's just jump right in. Let me say hello to everyone that I see out there, and then we'll kind of move right along because we've got a lot of things to cover today. So I want to say hello to, I see Crafting with Robin. I see Donna Phillips. Hey, Faker McFake. I see Jackie Hallman, Jenny Owens, Robin's Quilt Basket, Yvonne Hudson. Thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate you guys taking that time to spend this hour with me. Let's just kind of jump into our holidays, because I know there was a couple times I've forgotten. I really didn't mean to forget the holidays, trust me. So if you are tuning in the first time, I'm a holiday girl, and I love to kind of look for holidays that may not be on the calendar, and they may hold special meanings to someone. So let's just kind of give a quick check on that. So today is National Pretzel Day. So if you like some pretzels, great day to have it. It is, and this is a good one, guys. Pay attention. This one is National Get Organized Day. And I know we have mixed feelings about that. We don't really always want to get organized. And sometimes we feel like we're organized and then something happens and an explosion kind of hits our craft room. So try to take a little bit of time to get yourself just a little bit organized. Just put a little clock, schedule some maybe 5-10 minutes of your time, 20 minutes tops. Go in there, try to organize some things, and then go about your way, and then come back another time and you can finish organizing. You don't have to do it all in one shot. I think that's the key out there. Okay, it is also National Kids and Pets Day. So for those of you who have a pet, we all know we love our pets. This is a great day to spend with them. So those are the holidays that I have listed. And it's just some stuff that I like to kind of keep track of and kind of keep you guys up to date. So there's just so many things going on in the crafting industry now. I mean, if you kind of watch what's happening, we are now in springtime. People are starting to gear up. They're starting to look at things of the holidays that are coming up. Fabric lines are scheduled to come out, and there's just so many things going on, and that's going to be coming in the near future for the holidays. So it's good to kind of keep track of all of those things, and I try to kind of put that material in here to make sure that you guys are aware of what's going on out there. So let's get right to the announcements because I'm pretty excited. I've got some news here. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different. And I know I change things up every now and then, but this is really going to be more of a challenge for me. Just to kind of see how I could do. It's a little bit of a pilot that we're going to be running, and we are going to be doing kind of like a GiftsHQ morning show. We're going to be starting on May the 1st. We're going to be going live on the hours of 8 to 9 daily, and we're gonna just kind of have some fun with it. You know, there were some YouTubers that I really liked to see at that time, and they are actually moving to a different time, so that kind of left me with a void. But I really wanted to fill that time with crafting because that really is the best time for me. So I thought that, you know, if there's nothing else out there, you know, let's keep it going. So I'm going to try to live stream on a daily basis, Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 p.m. starting May the 1st. So it's going to be a big challenge for me to be able to keep up with everything on a daily basis, but it's going to be very low key, kind of a little social hour. You know, we'll talk about events and things going on, maybe do a little sewing, a little quilting, a little bit of everything. And just kind of on a daily basis, maybe you can kind of tune in and see how I progress on the different projects. And as I do the projects with you live, we can also share all kinds of tips and things that may go wrong. Maybe, you know, we'll have things go wrong in the morning that maybe we did it wrong, or maybe there'll be things that we do right. And I'll be kind of doing things right along with you. So you can maybe do the same project with me if you'd like and follow along. We'd be able to do things together versus my weekly show where I'm pretty much, try to stay to a very small project that we can fit within the hour. But it's become challenging because I want to share so much more. So sometimes I do go over on the hours on Saturday. So I think by me adding the daily shows, it's kind of spread out everything. And so it'll allow me to really be able to kind of give you more information in detail on things that are happening out there, as well as share with you all kinds of ideas and tips and things to get things done for your projects. So I'm hoping that you guys will be able to join me, and it's something that, you know, we're going to kind of just see how it goes. So again, the pilot is going to start on May 1st. I'm going to be from 8 to 9 in the morning. So I'll be your little morning coffee, right? You can grab your cup of coffee, sit down and just kind of, you know, watch the show if you'd like, or, you know, just kind of chime in and get in your craft room a little bit early and get some stitching done before you have to go about your day. So we're going to try to see how it goes. I'm hoping that this goes well. If you can't catch the morning show, then you can always watch the replay, right? So there's always that as well. So let's see. Yes, I see a lot of people in the chat. Yeah. Oh, Donna says it's 7 a.m. there in Louisiana. Oh, okay. And this may be a motivator to get her up and get her going early. Well, I hope it is, because that's my whole inspiration, is to inspire you guys to get into those craft rooms. Now, sometimes people feel overwhelmed when they are looking at a project and they think they're going to be in their craft room for hours and hours. But if you break down that project into little chunks, you can just get a little chunk done every day. And before you know it, you'll finish the project. So that's what I'm kind of hoping that we can all do. And I'll be showing the different types of projects. I'll try to mix it up. I won't do just one project all the way into the end and then start another. I'll try to mix and match things. So, you know, maybe you may not be interested in one project, but you are in another. So we'll try to change it up all the time. So we're not just doing just the one project every time. Oh, Donna, you're already thinking that you can scoot out of my new sewing room and get going with Nancy. Awesome. Great. I'm glad. Yes, thank you. So, hopefully you guys will be able to, you know, catch or at least listen. Maybe you're on your way to work. I'm not sure what everyone's schedule is. But I'm going to try to do that so I can get a little bit of crafting done before I have to actually go off to work. So we're going to give it a try, see how it goes. And, you know, we'll kind of go from there. So that is my first announcement. My second announcement has to do with this room. So we've been doing YouTube lives now. Like I said, we are on live number 137. And we've done other tutorials and things as well. And I can say we kind of outgrew this little space. And it's really becoming more and more difficult for me to do things in this room. Because it is a really small room. It's a 10 by 10 room, and it's really small to be able to get the camera equipment in here, as well as the space that I need for cutting and sewing and you know, embroidery and you know, all of that stuff. It gets a little bit in the way. I also have a ton of fabrics, kind of like a fabric wall where I have all my fabrics there, and we've got printers, and we've got all of our yarn and crochet items. So everything is kind of jammed into this little room, and we've been doing all of the lives with this, including, you know, all the camera equipment, lighting and things like that that you need in order to kind of properly do good lighting for your channels and stuff. So that way I want to make sure that I don't minimize the quality, because we really take pride in the quality that we do on all of our videos. We try to give you really up close, personal type of views with good lighting, so you could really see, because I really believe in order for me to teach you guys and show you guys different things, you really need to see what I'm doing. And so that's why it's really important to me to bring really good camera angles and lighting and things like that. But this room is becoming a little bit more difficult to do that. So because we've kind of outgrew it. Oh, yes, Jenny. Wow, exciting. Yes, you're gonna have me 6 hours a week, Jenny. 6. Yes, awesome. I love it. So because we've kind of outgrown this, we're going to kind of do a little bit of a switcheroo at my house. So I do stream out of my home, and we have a one-car garage that was transformed into an office when we purchased the house. And that kind of has been our office / everything room. And so it kind of convinced my hubby that what we're going to do is we're going to swap things out. So we do have this room, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to move over to the other room, which is the one-car garage transitions into an office. I'm going to kind of redo that space. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done there, but we're going to redo that space, and I'm going to be moving this craft room to that area of the house, which will give me a lot more space. And we'll have to kind of redo all of the lighting and everything in order to get everything going. But there's still a lot to be done there. There's, got painting to do. We've got to move everything out of that room and then out of this room and put it over there. So lots and lots of construction stuff to do, and then moving things around and putting things in the right place. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge to do that, but I think that's something that we really need to do because it will allow us to have the proper space that we're going to need in order for me to be able to give you good camera angles and show all kinds of different things. And it'll give us a little bit more breathing room. So if you could only see the tiny room that I'm in, it's a 10 by 10 room. It's only 100 square feet. So yeah, it's really tiny here, and it's time to move on to a bigger space. So I'm excited about that. So that move is coming. Nancy is becoming family, not just a friend. Oh, thank you, Donna. Thank you. I think of you guys like my family too. So I, am excited about moving the rooms and getting things a little bit more organized and, going into that new adventure. But I'm really excited to be able to stream on a daily basis and really show you a lot of things. Now, we won't be able to start and finish a project, at least probably not most of the time, all in one session because we are meeting daily, but we can start it off. I'll show you simple techniques just for specific steps within the projects, and then we'll continue to progress and move on. So you can really see things from start to finish and all of the mistakes and everything that goes on with that. So that is kind of what my 2 announcements are. So yes, renovations on the way for our new space, and we'll be able to see each other more often. So I'm excited about that. So I really hope you guys are able to join me on a daily basis in the morning, and hopefully you'll be able to see the progression. I'll try to film as we kind of go through our construction and relocation process. I'll try to film some of that. There's just a lot of work to be done. A lot of it I will probably do myself. They've got some popcorn ceiling that needs to be taken out. We've got some painting that needs to be done. Just lots and lots of things to do. So I will definitely be prepping that space, and we'll be getting it ready, and then we will kind of reveal the new space and be ready for the move. So lots of exciting things happening here. But those were my 2 announcements for today. So I hope you guys are excited about that. I'm really, really excited, and I can't wait to see you guys more often. Donna says, it will be good if you can set up workspaces for different crafts. That is my plan for the new craft room. Yes. And I kind of have that set up that way in this room, but it's just such a small room. It's hard to kind of do that. So like, I've got all my fabrics on one side. I've got printers. I've got knitting and crochet things off to the corner on this side. I don't think you guys can see that. I've got embroidery over here, but it's really hard because it's such a small room. So I'm hoping that with this bigger room, I'll be able to spread things out a little bit more. And I'm excited to kind of move things around and get going on that. But, it's going to be fun. It's going to be probably a little chaotic because in the middle of all this will be, seeing you live every day. So it's going to be a challenge. It's a big challenge for me. And we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to try not to stress over it. I do tend to be a little bit of a perfectionist on certain things, but I'm going to try to just roll with it and do what we can, and just get going on this. So, those were my 2 announcements, and I am super, super excited about them. Lots of things coming your way. So hopefully you guys really enjoy that. Let's see. Robin's Quilt Basket says my room is 8 by 10 and is jam packed. Yes, you see, and the problem with that, Robin, is I'm okay with it's gonna get jammed. It's a craft room, right? But I have to have some space. I mean, it's becoming a challenge for me to do cutting and ironing. Like, you have to have that space, like, set up. And it's like every time I need to do something, I have to move something out of the way to be able to get to it. That becomes frustrating for me. And that's where I tend to, like, kind of not want to do something because it's just such a hassle to get it done. You know, so I don't like feeling like that, and I like everything to have its own place. And so that's why I really feel like it's just time for that change, for us to change things around. And we're going to do that. And hubby's being a real trooper on that. So I'm excited about it. Let's see. Oh, 1 Minute Tips says, this is so exciting. Our dear crafting friend is growing and expanding. Great news. Awesome. Thank you, 1 Minute Tips. Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited about it and I can't wait. Jenny says, can't wait to see your new space. Thank your hubby for us. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's a little bit different. I'm going to try to pick my colors to be nice and bright. And just, you know, see what kind of furniture, like I have furniture here and I need to see what's going to fit, what's not going to fit, and what I may have to adjust. So it's going to be a challenge. It really is, but we're going to see what we can do. All right. So we will make it work. Okay. So those are my announcements. Let me just kind of move on because we do have a lot of other things to cover. So last week, if you guys tuned in, I introduced you to a website called A Stitch in Time, and we did some fringe embroidery, and we embroidered the chicken. Now, I have to say there's been so much going on. I really haven't had the time to do too much, but let me move over here and get to the pile. So give me a second here. Okay. So this, here we go. Move this over. Okay, so this was the design that you can pick up, and the website is called A Stitch in Time. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that, but they have some really cool designs and fringe embroidery especially, and I think that they did a great job on those. I did send an email to Rhonda to let her know, and Rhonda, I think, is the owner on here, and she did a fantastic job. And the link is in the description if you guys are interested in making this. It's really, really neat. This is what it looks like when you're done. So you can see how nice and fuzzy it looks. That fringe is just adorable, and you can just really make something really neat with that. I thought it was really great. I love how it comes out. You know, I think they did a fantastic job on the digitizing on this. Now, I am making a pillowcase, so I was able to get some background fabric. So I kind of cut my pieces out, and so I got this background fabric that I was able to pick up, and I thought it was just perfect for my chickens. You all know I love my chickens, right? So this is I'm gonna make this into a pillow. It's gonna be an envelope pillow, and this will be my backing. And then I was able to pick up some piping as well, and I'm just gonna do some gray piping around the edge. And the piping I just picked up at Hobby Lobby. That's what it looks like. It's just simple gray. I wanted to keep it nice and toned down, and it'll go with the chickens here, and then I have the nice chicken on the front. I'll probably make 2 of them, one for my mom. She asked me for it. She saw it. She saw me do this, and she wants a chicken, so I'm gonna make her one as well. So I did do this, and then I also mentioned that they had a flamingo and fringe embroidery on their website, and I downloaded without looking. I was kind of rushing. And so I had purchased and downloaded the In the Hoop project that they have, which is this flamingo quilt. But I didn't realize that the size of this is larger than a 5x7 hoop. The design size is actually 6x10. So it was kind of like oh, I didn't even realize that. I should have looked and I didn't. So, you know, I mentioned that, you know, I couldn't stitch that one out. Well, apparently Rhonda must saw the video and she sent me an email and she sent me a design for the flamingo as a 5x7 because they do have them as a 5x7 separately. It's not an In the Hoop project, but it is a stitch out just like the chicken, but it's the flamingo. And I thought that was the sweetest thing that she can do. She's a super sweet lady. I was so happy with that. And so, you know, big shout out to her. Rhonda, if you're watching, you know, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That was really, really sweet. And so she went ahead and she sent it to me. Now I stitched it out and I still have it in the hoop because I have not done the fringe. But this is what the flamingo looks like. And I got it just stitched out. So, so cute. You do have to cut the body here is going to be where the fringe is going to be. And so now I did it with black bobbin. You should do it with white, but I did it with black so that you guys could see it on the camera because I really wanted you to see how well this is made. So the black bobbin thread that you see on the body here, that is where you're going to go in and you're going to start to cut. And so then when you cut it, you kind of just come back to the front and pull it and you'll see all the fringes start to appear just like they did with the chicken. And I thought that that was really, really neat. I love how that works. So I'm excited to kind of pull this out. I'm going to see if we have some time, but we have so much to show you. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do it now, but it's definitely, these are the kinds of things that we can do on our daily morning show. So, you know, I think it's really, really neat. I love how this is going to come out. When I fringe it, it's going to be awesome. This is so cute to put like on towels, on a shirt. I mean, really, really neat. You can even, if you have the Embrilliance program, you can add some text to it, you know, and just, you know, put all kinds of things on here. So it's really, really nice. So thank you again, Rhonda, if you're watching. I really appreciate it. Again, her website, I put a link down below. It's a Stitch in Time. They have some beautiful designs, so you may want to check them out as well. Okay, so let's put this over to the side. If we have some time, I'll come back and try to do some of that fringe. But I want to get to a couple of things that I want to show you because there's been so much going on with Joann's closing their stores that if you have not gone out to Joann's, you may want to check it out and see if there's anything left. At least in my area, I think for some stores, the last day is today, and other stores, it's on Monday. So I did take a couple of trips there, and I found that a lot of their fabrics, they were not even cutting fabric anymore. And the reason they're not cutting fabric, because they've reduced the price to 90%. Like, they're practically giving the fabric away. So people are walking away with bolts of fabric. And so I was able to go one time, I got a whole bunch of fabric. Then I got back another time and I got some more fabric. So it's been crazy, but I just could not pass up on that deal. The price that they were giving you for some of these fabrics, and they're premium cotton fabrics. They had others as well. They had your fleece. They had quilted fabrics. They had, oh my gosh, they had tons. But every store varies, right? So you do have to go out. But I can tell you, and I'll show you what I've gotten on some of these. So let's just show the first picture if we could. Let's see here. So you see, this is kind of like my top, one of the shelves where I have my little, what I call my fabric wall. And you can see all of those fabrics there. About 90% of those fabrics I picked up this week at Joann's. And I can tell you that it was the entire bolt of fabric. And the whole bolt was coming out to maybe like, I mean, it kind of ranged, right? I would say $5 for an entire bolt of fabric, which is like unheard of, right? So I did kind of try to stick with some solids, try to stick with things that I know I'm going to use because there's a quilt or a project that needs that particular color, or maybe it's the backing fabric that I'm looking for, and these would be perfect. So I went ahead and got a whole bunch of them. So I did pick up a lot of yellows, whites, reds, blues, you know, all of that stuff. And they were like $5. Some of them were $3 for the entire bolt. Okay, it was crazy. And they are a lot of Calico, a lot of kind of name brand fabrics. So they were premium fabrics that were there. They also had some other ones that, you know, were not kind of the knockoff type brand, but it's fine because, I mean, you could use it also for applique as well. So tons and tons of deals out there. If you haven't gone to Joann's, you're missing out because all of their stuff at this point is 90%. And they're just like giving the stuff away. I also was able to pick up a huge roll of batting. And it's kind of like those big batting rolls that they put on the long arm machines. I got a big roll of that as well. I picked up a quilting frame for like $10. I mean, it was just ridiculous. They even have some of their furniture within the store that you can buy as well. So if you're looking for, maybe you have a business and you're looking for a pallet, or if you're looking for shelves or things like that, they had all of that on display as well. And you can also sign up if you wanted to purchase something like that. So yeah. Faker McFace at Joann's did not have any left when you went back. Yeah, I can imagine that. Because when I left, there was no more premium cotton left. They did have, they had a lot of fleece, but then again, I'm in South Florida, so those types of fabrics, you know, maybe would be good up north where it's colder, but down here, probably not so much. But they had a lot of fleece and heavy fabric left, and that was pretty much it. Everything else was gone. Rulers, everything. They had some books. I did pick up a couple of books, and the books were like $1. So really cool on that one. You know, I love my books. But yeah, all of that stuff, it was just crazy. You know, they had these really crazy prices. And so I'll show you a couple of here that I got. And these are just mostly, I've got some grays, I've got some greens. They're really like for background fabrics and things like that. But I just wanted to give you a couple of examples. Besides the ones that I had on my shelf up there, I've already organized those, so I didn't want to kind of take them back down. But you can see here, we have a nice gray fabric. And this one, you can see here, it is Calico. So let me put that up so you can see it. Very pretty, beautiful, nice quality fabric here. And this entire bolt, because it didn't have too much left, I think I got it for $2. I mean, it was just that crazy. Because there really is maybe about 2 yards left on this bolt. And so it really depends how much was left on the bolt, and that's the price they gave you. Now, this was a really fun one that I saw. Not one that I would typically get a lot of, but I thought it was really neat because I have a few applique pieces and quilts that have animals, farm animals on it. So I thought this was something that, you know, I was able to pick up pretty cheap, and, you know, I'm probably going to use it a couple of times. Probably won't use the whole thing, but I'm sure eventually, since I do a lot of quilts with little animals and stuff, it'll come in handy. 1 Minute Tip says, wait, did she say $2? Yes, I did. For the entire bolt. So yeah, lots and lots of deals going on out there. We've got another here. This is another gray one. And I tried to stick to the grays only because I've already gotten the colored ones with the blues and the yellows and things like that. So I wanted to stick to things that were pretty neutral that I can kind of blend in with other fabrics. So another gray here as well. And maybe I've got about 4 or 5 yards here of this. So nice on there. I've got some other ones here. This one didn't have, this one has maybe about 2 yards of left of this. Let's see. Then we've got some green. Right? And remember, guys, Christmas is coming. You're going to have all kinds of things. So you're going to need the reds, the greens, the white, you know, all the blues for the snowman, things like that. There's all kinds of things, colors coming up for the different holidays. So I just kind of, again, kept it to colors that I know I'm going to use. Here's a really nice gray. This is a lighter tone, so it goes really well with my lighter fabrics. Can be a nice border as well. Yes, I went to town at Joann's. Yes, I did. I went a little nutty, but I know this is stuff that I'm going to use. Now, if it's something that I'm not going to use, then I'm not going to spend the money on it. But I did pick up fabrics. I picked up rulers. How much yarn did you get? Well, you know what? Fake or make fake, I didn't get too much yarn. I didn't. Because I already have a stash, and yarn takes a little bit longer for it to kind of recycle because the projects take longer to do. So like, for example, been working on a project with my mom for over a year. Yeah, we have gone through yarn, but it takes that long to really make these big projects. And so they kind of cycle a little bit slower. And I didn't want to keep all of that yarn because, again, my space is limited. So I didn't want to keep all that yarn here. So I tried to focus on the fabrics because I do have, and I'll show you in just a little bit, a number of projects that I'm working on that are going to require large pieces of fabric and backing and things like that. So I stuck with the batting, the backing fabrics, the border fabrics, things like that, that I don't have yet, and I know I'm going to need it. So that's kind of what I stuck with. But these are the types of bolts that I got, and I'll show you just a couple more. Let's see here. This one's kind of similar, a nice light gray. And yet another here. And so they're pretty, you know, light tones, neutrals, things like that. I did get, like I said, the yellows, the blues, and all that other stuff earlier. So, but I've already kind of put those away. So I didn't want to have to take them off the shelf yet again because it did take some time for me to organize that. And I'll have to take kind of pictures of my little fabric wall so you guys can see that. But hopefully when I move to the new place, I'll be able to kind of display it a little bit better. It makes it easier for me to kind of get to it. And so I can visually see what I have and what I can use. And so I'm able to just buy the pattern and not have to buy the kit unless I want to of a specific pattern. So let's move over to the books. So let me kind of move this over here. So I picked up a couple of books. I didn't go too crazy because I still have a lot of books with some patterns that I haven't even done yet. So I didn't want to go too crazy, but I did find some that were pretty neat, and they were like $1. So, I mean, couldn't really pass that up. So this one is called Home for the Holidays, and I thought this one was a really pretty Christmas quilt that I thought would be really nice to make. And with the fabrics that I already have on my stash, I think, you know, it'll be really nice. And they have a lot of nice ideas, some really pretty designs on here. And the instructions for them seem pretty nice. Like they're nice colored diagrams, step-by-step instructions. And so I'll be able to follow that pretty easily. And so here it is again. It's called the Christmas Eve Lap Quilt. And I think that's probably one that I'm going to want to tackle on here. So I did pick that one up. They also had one called Beyond the Battlefield. And these are 14 scrappy Civil War quilts. So for those of you who are maybe interested in the Quilts of Valor, maybe you're doing some quilts for them, like these are some really neat quilts with a little bit of history on them. And I thought that was pretty nice. And so I thought that would be really neat to kind of do. I know one of my goals is to make a quilt and donate it to the Quilts of Valor. But these are just really gorgeous. And I thought this would be really nice to kind of do. Now, they do have specific requirements. So if you're looking to do something like that, you know, check online on the Quilts of Valor website, because they do have very specific requirements that you would need to meet in order to do a quilt for them. No wonder Miss Nancy is taking over her husband's space with all that fabric. Yes, I know. It's a lot, but you know, as long as I continue to have interest in it, then I'm good. The minute I don't want to do this anymore, I will have to kind of, you know, rethink things. So, oh, hang on, I got a little cord hanging on here. So I want to make sure that, you know, if I'm getting the bigger space, it's because I need it and I'm using it. If I'm not using it, then, you know, have to do something else. So this one is another one. It's called Quilting with Dollies, and that kind of got my curiosity here. So it's kind of a mixture of kind of crochet with the dollies with quilting, and I thought that that was pretty neat on how they kind of blend the two together, and you see kind of different little designs where they're blending the two crafts together, and I thought that would be beautiful to do. And so they've got a couple projects on here, and I thought that would be interesting to kind of give this a try. So I thought this was pretty neat, very interesting. So that's something I will read up on. Don't know too much about it just yet. Then they had some paper piece projects, and these are 60 fabulous paper piece stars. And there's some really gorgeous stars here that you can do with paper piecing. And as you guys know, I got the legit kit, which is one of the projects that's pending for me to do. I am getting some things that I've ordered that to help me organize before I start that project. So this is something that I may attempt just to kind of prep myself before I kind of tackle that legit kit project. But it has some beautiful stars on here that you can do with paper piecing. And that's just a lot of fun. So these are some of the fun projects that we could do also on a daily basis. And then this one I got for $1, guys. So this is triple play. So a lot of you guys that are quilters out there may be familiar with Missouri Star and her daughter and daughter-in-law. This is called Triple Play. It's an episode that they do on YouTube. And I was able to purchase this book, and it's got tons and tons of things in here. And they just have a whole book of different quilts that you can do. And I really like how they lay out their instruction. Their instructions have a very nice layout, as well as visually they have some really nice instructions for you to follow along and make the quilt. So definitely more things to come on this. I really love their stuff, as you guys know, when we do the unboxing for the Christmas box that they always have every year. So if you guys, by the way, are not aware, those are on pre-sale right now. So if you want to get in on that Christmas box for the end of the year, now's the time to go in and purchase it if you haven't already. So those are some of the books that I have and some of the fabrics that I bought. But I also just kind of wanted to show you guys some of the projects that I am looking to do on the daily morning shows. So this is my little bag. Got this out of Temu, which I really love. It's kind of like my little project bag that I hold together. It's not really made for that, but I'm using it for it and it works for me. So it's got a lot of little compartments inside. And so I've got one paper piece project, and I am using some fabrics from Riley Blake. This is a Southern fabric. It's called Peace and Plenty. It's by Lori Holt. And we're going to be using these 10-inch squares to do a pattern that you can get for free from the Fat Quarter Shop. So if you go to their website, you can go ahead and get the pattern for this. And the pattern that I am doing is called Star Climber. And this is what it looks like. You can get this for free. Just go to their website, look up Star Climber, and you can download this. Comes with all the instructions on here. Now, in order to do this project, this is a paper piecing project, you're going to need 2 foundation paper piece booklets. So you've got one that's called Woven Star, and that's to make the stars on the quilt here. And let me give you a little bit of a close-up on here so you could see what it looks like. This is what the quilt will look like. Okay, and these are the papers that it uses. So it is paper piecing. So we will be paper piecing these together to form the block. And then you're going to be using a second block that's called the Courthouse Steps. And this is also another little pad of paper that you would have to get. These are the paper piecing that you're going to need in order to do that project. So it's 2 different blocks. These are the 6-inch ones. The instructions let you have a choice of either doing the 6-inch blocks, which would be the lap, or the table topper, which is a smaller size. And so you would have a smaller size book. So you can see here, these are both for 6-inch blocks. So I'm going to be doing the lap size quilt. And I'm going to be using my foundation paper piecing papers along with the pattern. And then I'm going to be using some fabric that I have here, which is the Lori Holt fabrics. So these are some 10-inch packs that I have here. And it has a beautiful, if you can see this here, very beautiful line right here. I think it's gorgeous. And it's going to really... You know, you have a little bit of a glare, but there we go. I think it's really gorgeous. It's going to come out great. Oh, Annette says she just got that pattern. Hopefully I'll have time to make it. Awesome. We can do it together. That'll be awesome. So I liked the pattern, was totally free. If you've got some scrap fabric, you can use that. And then the paper piecing, this you would have to order, but it's not expensive at all. So that's one of the projects that I have off to the side here. So that is one that I'm going to be doing. I did have a couple of others that I don't have a scheduled date or time on this one. And let me just pull this here. This is another kind of freebie one as well, and it's called Once Upon a Time. So I thought that one was pretty as well. I haven't picked out fabrics or anything, so this is one of the ones that I'm going to be doing, but not anytime soon. It's kind of an off to the later pile because I've got just too many right now that I need to get going with. So this is probably one of the ones that I'll be starting pretty soon, and I wanted to show you a couple of others that we'll be kind of doing quickly. And let me grab those. Oh, Faker says, I believe our husbands will do anything to make us happy, including giving up larger spaces. Big dreams and ideas with the greatest heart. Congratulations on having a wonderful husband. Oh, thank you, Faker Big Fake. I appreciate that, and I'm sure he does too. So it is true, you know, happy wife, happy life, right? Isn't that how it goes? Okay, so the next project, and this one will probably start it sometime in the summer because I want to have it done for Halloween. So this was a big one that was last year, but I couldn't do it last year. I had too much going on, but I did get the kit. It is still available at the Fat Quarter Shop. It is called the Mystery Spooky and Sweet Quilt Along. Okay. And I did get the kit for this one. And the kit was not too bad. I think it was around $60, where you get all of the fabric that you need. And you get the pattern itself is free for you to download. So if you don't want to get the kit with the fabrics, you may be able to get away with doing this just using scraps. And let me show you what it looks like. Let me see if they have the finished picture. I guess this is kind of small, but you can see it here. Here's a little picture. I think it's super cute. And this is a piecing project, so it's not paper piecing. It's just a regular quilt that will be piecing together. The instructions are pretty well laid out, and I think there's some videos out there on this as well. So I went ahead and got the fabrics just to make it easier on me. And this is another project that I have set that I want to get done before Halloween starts. So this is another one we can be working on during our morning shows. And then I did pick up another little kit. This was also from the Fat Quarter Shop, and it came in this cute little box. Wasn't expecting that. So that was pretty nice. And then once you open it up, this is a Lori Holt design. And we've got some Riley Blake fabrics on here. So it comes in the little box and you can take it out. And the pattern is called Autumn Skies Runner. And let me just take it out of the bag so you can see it. So apologies for all the noisy sounds here. Let's just get this out. Again, it's by Riley Blake. This is what the quilt looks like. This is a little runner, not a quilt, sorry. So you've got a little runner here. And these are like low priced kits. There's kits out there that are like $200, $300. I try to stay away from those because that's just too much for me. I wanted to kind of keep it in, you know, under $100 range. So I think this is really neat. It comes with all the instructions on here. And it does give you a charm pack with some pretty cute fabrics. Okay, again, this is Riley Blake. And then you have, it's the kit, so you have the fabrics here that make up that runner. And I thought these were just gorgeous fabrics. Look at that. I mean, the flowers, it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And we have these here that have little words on stuff, so that's pretty neat. So this is another kit that I have. A lot of these kits are using specific techniques that you would have to kind of learn. So things like the stitch and flip method and things like that. And those are the kinds of things that I want to focus on so that we can learn them together, do them together, mistakes and all, whether or not they come out right. You know, that's just how we learn. You know, you can't give up. You have to keep on going and just keep trying and learning new things. So that's what my goal is, to help you guys on a weekly basis. We're still going to have our Saturday CrafterNoon, but I know that a lot of people do things on Saturday, so it's a little bit difficult for everyone to kind of catch me. So we're going to try out that morning show and just kind of see how it goes, right? So, yeah. So 1 minute tip says, before I thought how Miss Nancy has all the time to do all the things she does already. Now she's going to tackle a daily show. I want whatever she is taking. Yeah, it's, you know, I can't think about, you know, how it's going to be, the struggle, because I know it's going to be a struggle. And if I focus on, you know, how much of a struggle it's going to be, I'll never get things done. So I'm just going to give it a try. Like I said, this is going to be a pilot. We're going to see how it goes, and we're just going to kind of go with it. And, you know, if it works, great. I mean, we'll have bumps on the roads, but we're going to learn together. And that's the main part. I really want to be able to share with you, you know, in real time, you know, as we do things together. So Crafting Robin says, I got a phone call. I missed where these kits came from. Okay, so the kits, for the most part, are in the Fat Quarter Shop. So we've got this kit as well as the Spooky and Sweet kit. These are all Fat Quarter Shops. And then the Star Climber is also Fat Quarter Shop. So all three of these projects were from Fat Quarter Shop. The Star Climber pattern is free. You do have to purchase it's a paper piecing project, so you do have to purchase the paper to get started on that. You can use scraps, but I went ahead and got these from my stash. Also the Spooky and Sweet, the pattern is free. They do have the kit, but you can also use your scraps for that as well. And then we have the Table Runner, which is this one right here, which is the Autumn Skies Runner. So that's all from Fat Quarter Shop. I love the display of the box on this. It's really beautiful. I didn't expect to have that come in like that, but it's gorgeous. But these are all the projects that I have lined up. So I'm going to be working on getting myself organized for the daily show, and we're going to have all kinds of different segments and things that I'm going to bring in. So we're still kind of planning out the details. It's not going to be the same every day. We're going to try to change it up every day and have different things that we can teach you and different things that we can share, info, news, all kinds of stuff. So what time? Okay, what time will be the daily show? So the shows are going to be from 8 to 9 in the morning. Monday through Friday, and then we're also going to have our Saturday CrafterNoons as well. So we'll be tuning in 6 days a week with you guys. So it's going to be a challenge, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope you guys are able to join, and, you know, we'll just learn together on different techniques and share different things. And if I can get some people to come on with us, you know, we could do that as well. I'll try to look for collaborations and things like that. So it should be tons and tons of fun. So let me just go back here. I know we're running low on time here. I pretty much covered the basics. We didn't get through all the fabrics, but it's fine. We've got books, quilt kits from the Fat Quarter Shop. I have been taking a few embrilliance classes. So I'm kind of beefing up my knowledge on that so I can kind of bring that over to you as well. So that's going on, and, you know, it's just tons of things that we can make as creators. You know, there's tons out there. So it's just really, really nice to be able to kind of put your hands on a little bit of every different craft and kind of pull it all together. So, yeah. So Jenny said that's 7 a.m. Central, and she'll be listening while she's driving to work. Awesome. Love it. Yes, and Robin is heading to Joanne's after this too. Yeah, I think everyone's kind of been hitting it because this is the final leg of it. And you can just see what you can kind of scoop up there. Crafting Robin says, thanks, Nancy. My sister called and we're making a trip to Joanne's today. Yes, and you better hurry. I don't know if there's too much left out there, but, you know, whatever there is, it's going to be a really good deal. So you definitely want to try to get that. So, I mean, whether you're into paper piecing or just quilting or sewing, embroidery, whatever it is, we're going to cover all kinds of topics as we do with the Saturday CrafterNoon as well, it's just going to be a little bit more structured, and we're going to try to do different segments to get everything going. So, you know, whatever it is that you love to do, whatever it is that you love to make, you know, just make it with love, and you'll love exactly how it turns out. So I think you'll really love that. Ellen says, I'll be joining you with my coffee on hand. Yes, we will definitely have some coffee in the morning. Definitely wanted to do that. Yes, awesome. You're going to. Oh, great. Oh, I'm so happy. Awesome, awesome. So remember, that's going to start May 1st. So I guess, you know, I've got a lot of things to do to get ready for that. So I'm going to be pretty busy getting everything in shape for that one. So I hope to see you guys there. Thank you all for tuning in today. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out to support my channel. And, you know, I hope that you guys really enjoy all the content that I bring over to you. This is all I have for today. So this is Nancy tuning out today. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
Nancy with GiftsHQ makes crafting videos, creating with passion and a love for what she sews. Crochet, quilting, and sewing, crafting is what she knows. Making smiles one craft at a time. Your talent will grow with every stitch and every thread she weaves her on. Her hands create something special straight from the heart. And as the colors come alive, the joy spreads near and far.